Hey there, Grateful Gang. How is everybody tonight? My name is Lauren Blanchard Zaleski, for those of you that are tuning in for the first time. And I'm the creator and founder of Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, which is the best darn group around for those of us who live with chronic conditions, pain, illness, injury, and trying to live a better life. It's a constant trial and error. So we have this broadcast on Thursday nights, which we just started. Today's episode 8 already, which is so hard to believe. At this for 2 months. And if you haven't been here before, let me explain a little bit about what we do. We talk about a topic for an hour. Well, an hour, in quotes, hour-ish. Sometimes we get I don't want to say carried away, because the discussions are absolutely wonderful. We have so many insightful people who are willing to share their honesty and their authenticity. And it's just wonderful, which is why I don't cut it off at an hour, because, we're all trying to help each other. And every single week, I don't know about you guys, but every single week I end this broadcast and I feel like I want to say lighter than air, because that sounds a little cliche, but man, I'm just so happy, because being able to have this town hall like discussion on things that we all live with is really freeing. We know in the group, because of the way we're set up, we don't talk specifics about our illnesses. And those of you that have been in the group for a while, you obviously know all this, but we all have the same emotional stuff, whether somebody's got an illness or an injury or anxiety or whatever, or a combination of all of them. We go through the same emotional pain from it. So all of these things that we learn, these tools, tricks, hacks, whatever, they're just things for us to try, and maybe they work, and that's great. And then we put it in our tool belt, or they don't work and we try again. At least that's what we're supposed to do. Let's see who is here. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way. Who do we have? Diana's going to be a little bit late. Okay. Melissa Moreno. Hello. Hi there. Thanks for tuning in. Gail is here. Hi, Gail. Jen Leos. Oh, I should be showing these. Hang on. Hey, do you guys like my new screen thing? I don't know. It's a little too big, but I'm trying to like it. Every week I try to do something a little bit more technical, and it doesn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hang on. Let me get the comments up here. How do they get up here? Oh, I guess I have to click on them. Imagine that. Okay, where are we at? Gail, there we go. And Jen, Facebook user. I'm guessing that's Deborah Immer Scott, just because of the sunflower, yellow heart sunflower. Am I right, Deborah? Is that you? I bet I'm right. Good detective work. We have, oops, I missed Glendale. Glendale, hi there. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Robin. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're here tonight. We have another Facebook user. And hi there. Nice to see you. I don't know who you are, and I'll explain that in a minute. Oh, Jen, you like it? Yeah. I wasn't sure, does any part of it get cut off on your screen, you guys, from any of the other things going on the screen? I thought it was kind of fun and happy too. The one that you can do with StreamYard is awfully bulky. Facebook user, love the screen. Deborah, I'm thinking that's you. Robin says, yes, it's her. Pamela Creighton, hi there. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I was right. Deborah, it is Smarty Pants. I know. I'm on the ball today. Margaret DeCarico Morris. Hi there, Margaret. Thanks for coming in. And yet none of the stuff's cut off. I assume that's about. Great. Okay, I'll keep it then. Give me suggestions. I like them. I thought it was kind of bright and cheerful. I'm going to stop here just for a minute. There's a lot of Facebook users coming up, and I'm going to tell the same story I always do because it was just so funny. If you weren't here a couple of weeks ago to witness this, what happens is in this StreamYard program that I use to broadcast, and I like to use this program because it enables us to have like a town hall atmosphere where we can talk back and forth like we're doing right now. But because we're a closed group, we have to give permission to StreamYard to show our name on the screen. If you're fine with it, you being Facebook user, on my screen, I can't see who it is right now because I'm on like a different dashboard. So if you want to log out and log back in and you just click where it says give permission and you should be good to go. You'll never have to do it again. Or if you're fine with being Facebook user, that's fine too. The reason why I was talking about it being such a story is that a couple of weeks ago when this happened, I thought I would be like all cute and clever and charming. And I said, I'm going to name you guys the FUs, not realizing what I was saying until it flew out of my mouth. Facebook user, those, yeah, abbreviations. So I always want to tell that joke, but it's still, the FUs are still happening. So I just wanted to make you guys aware if you aren't already. Glendale says, screen looks good. All right. You know what I used to make the overlay, you guys? Creativity, which is going to be our topic tonight. I'm excited about it. Denise Gorgie said, hi, Lauren. Hi, Denise. Hope you're doing well. Baha ha ha ba. Baha ha. All right. That one, I don't have any like emojis to give me a clue. I'm not even going to guess on that one. Facebook user, tell me who you are. And Robin. Yeah, you like that story, right? So thank you all for being here. The way our broadcast works every week is we do kind of what we're doing right now, which is, oh gosh, somebody's talking in code to me. I'll get back to that in a minute. We enjoy this interactive atmosphere where you can pose a question or talk about a tip or trick you have, an idea, thoughts, because that's how we all learn from this hour-ish that we do every Thursday. We talk to each other. I could sit there and I could talk to you, but I'm just one person. When we have all of us together sharing our experiences and stuff, we have that many more ideas and things that have worked for us and things that haven't. Okay. Facebook user says EOM. Oh, come on. You should know not to do this to somebody with like brain fog. EOM. I don't know. Use an emoji or something. Give me a hint. And Julia D. Julie Schmerlov. Hey, glad you made it in. So let me turn that off for a bit. Anybody else that comes in, well, you're not going to know I said this, but feel free to check in whenever you want, and I'll go to the comments as soon as I feel there's a break. So, Gratefully Living the Chronic Life is the name of our show, episode 8, and our topic tonight being using creativity to cope with our chronic conditions. And, that's such a loaded topic, really, when you think about it, because if I had heard that, my initial instinct would be me envisioning myself like out on a deck, maybe with a beret on my head, with an easel and the canvas and the paints and painting these masterpieces that'll all go in my Victorian house in the attic. I don't have a Victorian house or an attic that I want to paint in, but so sorry, I just saw the mystery. Silly me. I'll get to that in a minute. So that's what my initial instinct would be with creativity. But then I then my mind would go to, well, I'm not creative, I'm not artistic. What's the point? And I would be wrong. Like I told you guys in my begging post when I asked you to come to the broadcast tonight, because there's so much you can do that falls under that umbrella of creativity in a lot of ways. And I can't wait to hear from you guys as to what some of the things you do are. But I had a couple of group announcements first that I want to get to before we get to the topic. Let's see. Thanks to everybody for contributing in our virtual Memorial Day picnic this weekend. I was a little under the weather, so my comrades, Linda and Deborah and Jen, really picked up the pieces for me, but I saw the responses and they looked really popular. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years, and I'm glad that we enjoy that every year. And I'm glad we still enjoy it, even though it's a little silly. Sometimes being creative like that, modifying things to suit what we can do, is what makes things better, right? That's right. Yeah, Memorial Day. Oh, the Flush the Formats, you guys. I think I've been saying this the last 2 weeks. The Flush the Formats, which are now on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They've just been amazing lately. I know Linda's not here tonight, but she'll watch this later. They've just been so incredibly powerful and healing. I was talking to Linda this week after the chat, because we usually gush quite a bit after Flush the Format, like, oh my gosh, it's so great, it's so great. We get Linda and I together, it's like a gush fest. But I was saying the funny thing is, when we started that a couple of years ago, it was for the primary purpose of having an hour each week for our members to share about anything that's going on, any specifics that you can't talk about on our page. Maybe you just need to get something off your chest, maybe doctor, insurance, whatever. We flush the format and we can say whatever we want, which, to me sounds healing, but also like, ooh, I wonder if that ever gets to be a bummer. But the thing is, now we offer 2 of these a week, and both are very well attended. And we really just don't sit around and complain and vent. Yes, we share about our specific issues, but we really maintain it from a gratitude perspective. I don't think people are doing that because I'm there, because, yeah, I'd be the first one to be a bummer. Not really, but no, I really think that's just the way we're wired now, which is pretty cool. So check those out next week if you haven't been to any in a while or ever. Our book club, I'll be putting an announcement up tomorrow, but our book club has kind of done a retooling, and that's Jen Leos heading it up, and now Deborah Immer-Scott is helping her out. And rather than doing entire books, even tiny books like this, which you look at and you're like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. I'm going to do it this month. And then for whatever reason, our lives, we have the intention, and it's a good intention. Our lives get crazy. Then the week comes and maybe some questions are asked, and we just feel like we're holding everybody back. And so what Jen and Deborah have decided to do, and I think it's brilliant, they're going to put in quotes from some of these books that way. And then we're going to have discussion on those quotes. So that way you can decide if you want to read the full book or not. And that way too, if you haven't read the reading, well, there's not going to be assigned readings anymore, I don't think. But if you haven't read, you can still look at a quote and discuss it. So I think it's a great idea. We're going to try that out, and that will be starting June 1st. And then our journaling club, who Deborah Immer-Scott, you rock woman, she got it. She took over that this month, and we had our doodling. I think it was the beginning of the month. I did it. Yeah, it was the beginning of the month. We've had this awesome doodling challenge this month, and she's really just breathed a breath of fresh air into that group. There's more and more people getting involved. I'm going to let her announce what the next challenge is for June, but it's a really good one. Deborah, thank you for all the work you're doing on that. And thanks to all of you who are participating. We've got some, not new members, but new people that are just kind of discovering being creative. Boom, pew. I'm good at tying all that in. Okay. EOM, Jen says, Eva. How could I not know this? It's a person's initials. I'm not that good with initials, considering I was calling people FUs. But I should have known it's with the 3 letters. So hi there, Eva. Glad you could join us. Happy you're here. Eva's the one I was talking about last week during the broadcast. She's going to be a special guest on our show at some point in the future, hopefully the near future. And she's affiliated with an organization called CHADD, CHADD, I think. And it's for people with adult and child attention deficit disorder. But the reason why it applies to us is a lot. She's so knowledgeable, really knowledgeable. She came to Flush the format last week and was talking about it. And we were all just kind of hanging on the edge of our seat, because it's funny how a lot of the symptoms of that tie in with some of the things that we have. So Eva, we're waiting for you, and you and I will talk and pick a date. See what else we got here. Robin, creativity can be anything. You're right. You're right, Robin. I love these. Hi, Diana. You're not too late. I hope you mean the broadcast, I assume. I'm so glad. I love it too. Oh, Deborah Emmer Scott has decided to log in now so we can see your name. I love doodling, gets the creative juices going. You're not kidding. Getting back to, I shouldn't skip ahead, but that's me anyway. I'm not a creative person, and I know many of you are probably like, what are you talking about? You do all these posts every day, and I've talked about painting and my planners. I mean, I would show my crazy planners. Honestly, it's a way for me. I have memory issues, so working in a planner helps me in a lot of ways. One is writing something down and being able to look at it helps me to remember or jogs my memory. And the act of actually writing it with a pen and not on the computer adds another element to the memories. But it's also, most of you know, I'm really into collecting fountain pens. Thank you, Karen Goldberg, if you're out there. Got me addicted to the art of fountain pens. And I just love the way the ink lies on the paper. And so I get my creative juices flowing from that, playing with different inks. Can you guys see all the different colors? It's fun. Look, let's see. Can you guys see up there? Those are bad angle. Those are all my inks. Is that crazy? Oh, and they're next to these guys over there. Those are journals, unused journals waiting to be written in. So I'm like, I love being creative. I'm just not artistic. And so I want to hear what you guys have to say. I think that is it for the AOG announcements. So again, our topic is using creativity to cope with chronic pain, illness, injury, and our pain can be physical or emotional. We don't discriminate here because it all tends to kind of pull in together. I wanted to do a reading before we kind of when we get started in our conversations, we really get going. So I thought it would be a good way to start our conversation. And it's again from this book I love. I show it every week. This is an AOG chatting place. This is the book I take the readings from every day to post. And it was actually just the reading was 5 days ago, which I didn't know. But you see this book, Falling Apart. It's a well-loved book. The reading from May 23rd is Creativity. And the quote at the beginning says, adversity has the effect of eliciting talents, which in prosperous circumstances would have lain dormant, by Horace. Adversity has the effect of eliciting talents, which in prosperous circumstances would have lain dormant. It's a great quote. I wanted to talk a little about that tonight. Yeah, let's get to that later. So that was the quote. Let's get to the reading. I love to read biographies of famous people who have overcome disabilities by modifying activities in order to continue to do what they most enjoy. I ask myself if I am settling for less than is possible due to my limitations. What I have learned to appreciate in these stories is that others too once struggled with the common emotional reactions to chronic pain that I have. Being talented and famous did not make them immune to the struggles, but love of their talents and the use of creative responses enabled these people to continue using them in unexpected ways. I think of Renoir, the famous artist whose hands and legs were afflicted with rheumatoid arthritis. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? He found that it took too much energy to try to walk and paint, so he chose to paint while in a wheelchair. In order to work, he had to fold a cloth on the brush handle and strap his hand to it. What he considered his best work, women bathers, was done during this time when the freedom to use his hands was limited. And the affirmation at the end is, I won't give up my favorite activities without seeing how I can make modifications or without trying satisfactory alternatives to continue doing what I love to do. Isn't that funny? That was exactly our topic last week. And somehow it ties into creativity, but it's true. You know, when we get sick, enter diagnosis, whatever our chronic condition is, we oftentimes don't get to carry on with some of the things we used to because of our, new disabilities or abilities or whatever. So we have a choice. We can either stop around like an angry toddler and say, well, I just won't do it then. We may want to do that in the beginning because it's frustrating. It's totally frustrating. So we can be the angry toddler, or we can say, after we calm down and have our temper tantrum, which we're allowed to have, we can say, all right, let me see how I can make this work with what my abilities are today. And so I love that we're encountered with these decisions that we have to make, and we have to be creative in how we apply them too, so I have tremors. It's not the best habit to have when you are filling up fountain pens with ink. I am absolutely shocked that I haven't had a disaster yet. Now I know Rob is watching. He's probably thinking, yeah, get your hands off the ink. It's not. So I fill up my inks in the earlier part of the day when my tremors aren't as bad. And then writing, sometimes my writing is good, sometimes it's bad. I don't want to give it up. And that's a hobby that I picked up post illness through our member Karen Goldberg, actually. When she first told me about it, I'm like, fountain pens, like those old ones with the tips. Here's the one I've been using today. Pretty neon green. They're also pretty to me. But there's something very zen to being very mindful about writing with one versus a ballpoint. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the computer and that we can type and stuff, but honestly, it's hard for me to type too when I have the tremors. So, my point is I make do, and I want to hear how you guys make do also. But why is creativity important to living with chronic pain or illness or whatever? I view it as important in a whole lot of ways. Like the notes I was taking before tonight, I was surprised at how much I found the benefits of it. I think, sorry, let me just get rid of this. Oh no, never don't finish a thought because you'll never get it back. Writing down notes, different ways of being creative. It's gone. Sorry, guys. But I was writing a list of things, like ways that I'm creative, ways we could be creative, not being that person out, overlooking the ocean on the deck with the beret and the paints and all that. I do that too, actually, but not well, not well. That's okay though. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Yay! When we get sick, when we come down with our chronic conditions, a lot of our abilities have been taken away from us. And so we often, like we talked about last week, we often feel like we're less of a person. We all know that's not true, but we can feel like that very easily. And, and with each new symptom that comes up or ability that you lose or whatever, you feel like, almost resorting back to being a child again. And we're not, we're grown, beautiful human beings. So when we create something, we don't have to bring it to an art gallery and sell the stuff for thousands of dollars. We don't even have to show it to anybody. It doesn't have to have a purpose. It's purely for you to have a creation, something that you made that is so, so personal. And you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to like it. Our tendency, it's amazing to me how I was thinking about this earlier today. Our tendency when we make something and we show it to somebody, I'm going to give an example. So Amy and I were dabbling in watercolor paints. And when she would come over here, we get out the easels and stuff. And we're not good, but boy, did we have fun. I made this one. It's a sunset. That's actually one of my better ones. And Amy did this one with lots of paint splotches. It's not going to win any award, but whenever we would show each other our painting that we finished, we would always say, yeah, it's not my best, or I didn't know what I was doing. Like, we always had to put our work down. Isn't that interesting? I bet you guys do it too, don't you? Or people that do. There's nothing to put down. When you have a child that presents you with a piece of artwork, and not just when they're a toddler, but older, we think it's the prettiest thing we've ever seen because they created it. And so that's what I challenge to you guys, is to practice more self-compassion when it comes to your creativity in whatever form they take. And stop putting ourselves down. It really is a put down. It's like, are you trying to impress me? Because I think it looks beautiful. I do it too, but when I was thinking about it, I'm like, wow, it's funny how that happens. Okay, let's go to some of the questions here. Facebook user. Oh, is this Eva? EOM? Denise, I used to be more creative than I am now. Really? I would love to hear why that is. Did I come in as me? It's Eva. No, you're still here as Facebook user for me, but if you log out and log back in, they should ask you the question again to allow permissions to use your name, and you should be able to do it. Otherwise, just write Eva at the end and we'll know it. Deborah Emmer Scott says, I did not have time for creativity before illness, and now I have nothing but time, and I am so grateful I discovered my gifts. You sure did, my friend. Taking over the journaling club. I don't know if we ever discussed this, but were you doing anything creative, creativity wise before you I know you were getting really involved in the journaling club and were participating in our Zentangles, and, a lot of us just thought, we'll give it a try. And sometimes it was a hit and sometimes it was a miss, but always fun to do, I think. And Deborah, you've really taken the bull by the horns and taking over this group. Oh, I don't think you were here yet, but I was talking about the journaling club. If you'd like to announce tonight what the challenge is for June, it's a good way to reach peeps. Margaret DeCarico Morris. I make manger scenes. It's you! Oh my gosh, Margaret. I was talking, it was in Flush the Format. Let me take this off for a minute. I was talking in Flush the Format a couple weeks ago, I think. with Linda and some other people. I think Jen may have been in on the conversation too. And I said, we used to have a member who would make manger scenes, nativity scenes, I guess, out of shells that she found at the beach. I'm like, I don't know if that person, I didn't remember it was you, although I think your name did come up. I'm like, it could be Margaret. But I hadn't heard you talk about it in a long time. So I thought, well, maybe it's a member that's not with us any longer, or or what. So I'm so excited you wrote this, because I've always been so impressed by that. I make manger scenes from driftwood and oyster shells. I make a little Christmas money with them, and I have a few followers who call me the artist. It's really just play. Good point. I also plant ferns and stumps, line flower beds with pretty plates, use appealing junk in fun ways in the yard. I write poetry, not too much right now. This creativity, or play work as I call it, is healing for me. Brava, my friend. That is awesome. If you have any pictures of your work, I would love to show them if you're willing. And if not, that's okay too. I'm not sure how I show other people's pictures, but I think if you send it to me, well, you can try posting it right here in the post a picture and we'll see what happens. If not, you can send it to me via PM. And this goes for everybody, anybody that wants to show us their work, their creative use of creativity tonight. We'd love to show it all off. Oh, Margaret, I'm so happy you said that, because I've always been really kind of fascinated by that, and I always was so impressed. So I'm so glad you did that. Robin Davis, I started volunteering at an art gallery school and take classes from time to time when health allows. I'm learning to color and play again. Good job. Oh, and another comment here. Creativity is when I feel closest to source for you've got another one down here. I'm going to skip down here. When I create, I feel closest to source. Gotcha. So makes you feel probably, I would imagine anybody that does any creativity, your stuff, it's very mindful, isn't it? It's kind of like we talk about with in Black Duck Moments for Recovery with Dr. Singer. It's a black duck, when we're doing creativity, which means it helps us to forget about our pain even for a brief moment. And when you're drawing or doodling, adult coloring, you don't have to be too artistic for that. And adult coloring has really taken off. It helps people. It's shown to help people with anxiety, depression, and you can make some wonderful, wonderful things. Writing, poetry. Oh shoot! I'm like, squirrel. I was going to share something with you guys tonight. We'll see if I have time. I just signed up for a poetry class from my very favorite poet, Susan Freibort. Amy and I used to love her work. We got her books, and she signed some for us. But she is offering a class in the Soul Shaping Institute for 4 weeks in July. It's an online class on Tuesdays, and it's called something like Writing Poetry, Healing Through Your Story, or something like that. It sounds like it's really cathartic, and I have no doubt it would be. So I was going to put up the link for that, and I will try to do that. We're actually going to watch a short video, so maybe I'll search for it then. Anyhow, I digress. But poetry is wonderful, and again, it's something very, very personal. You can show people, you can not show people, but the important thing is that you like it, right? It's the most beautiful source of showing yourself, I think, being authentic and just putting, whatever comes to your mind that you can be creative with. I mean, you can play with Play-Doh. You can, write something. You can mess around with ink, fountain pens. There's brush pens out there. You can do paintings like this and not, maybe that's a sun. I'll call it a sun. And you don't have to, or maybe it's a lemon. It could be anything. Sorry, my earbuds are coming out because I'm sitting on. Yeah, I forget where I was going with that, but you don't have to be artistic to be creative. Let's see. Arlene's here. I am late. Sorry. Hello. Hello, Arlene. Glad you're here. I had you a lot in mind when I was taking the notes for or writing down thoughts for tonight. So I'm really glad you're here. One of the other things I was going to mention, now that Arlene's here, I'll say it. She sent me some happy mail last week. It was just a really nice, and I meant to have that here too, and I forget what I did with it. But a nice card with a couple postcards from locally where she lived. She, not for any reason other than to just say hi and to help me get to know her a little bit better. She wrote the envelope using, a pen. She colored a little things, I think. But the thing is, what's wonderful about sending letters and cards like that to somebody is when you're focused, when you're doing it, you're completely focused on that person, which is such a gift of love, I think. And then when you receive it, and it's a gift doing it too. Like you're really enjoying, you can't wait for that person to get it. And then receiving it, oh my gosh. You guys know when you get a letter in the mail or something like that, it makes your day. That made my day, Arlene. Thank you. And it wasn't for any reason, just going to say hi, send me some beautiful postcards from Canada. Hope I didn't embarrass you putting you on the spot here, but I wanted to mention that tonight. Anybody can write a letter, and if writing is a problem for you, you can type it on the computer. That's okay. The important thing is you're thinking of somebody, Amy, when Amy didn't live here, when she still lived in Cape Cod, I'm in New Jersey, she asked me one time, like early on when we first started talking, she said, "Can you write me a letter?" And I thought it was really weird that she asked me to write her a letter, but I did. And then she wrote me back, and we just had this ongoing letter writing. It was super cool. I got into it, and it wasn't long after that Amy was doing the journaling club where we did a pen pal challenge. I think we've actually done it twice. Somebody can maybe correct me, and Linda helped out with that too. It was a fantastic challenge that I think actually Robin Davis, you were Amy's pen pal, I want to say, the very first time around. Amy loved that challenge. Linda helped her out a lot, and we all loved that challenge. It was once a week, like one week one, you sent a postcard. Week two, write a letter about your town, or I forget what they were exactly, but it was doable because it was once a week. Amy would have us put everything in the mail on Friday. There were very few problems with people not doing it. And so we may want to explore, I've talked to Deborah about this already, we may want to explore doing that again because it's healing on so many levels as the giver and the receiver. It really is wonderful. Thank you, Arlene. Facebook user, maybe this is Eva, with a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. "It is one of the beautiful compensations of life that no man can sincerely help another without helping himself." That man has some quotes, boy, that really help us out. Thank you for posting that. All right, we got that. Margaret says process, not product. Now I need to go back. I'm sorry, I'm behind on these guys. Make mandarines, driftwood oyster shells. This creativity is healing for me. Oh, and you wrote something else, didn't you? Oh, you know what? The whole thing's not showing up on the screen, is it? Oh, well, I'm sorry, Margaret. Maybe if you can clear that up for Silly Willy here. All right, we got that. Process, not product. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're not actually referring to that. It's the process of making it, not the product that comes out. Thank you. Cleared it up for me. I get there eventually. Yes, you're absolutely right. And if we can practice self-compassion and be easier on ourselves about what our creations are. I mean, look, if you're good and you can sell stuff on Etsy or whatever, that's awesome. Make some money and really feel, I don't know, like you're contributing, but you're still contributing even if you're not. Nobody would ever buy my stuff, but that's okay. I'll give it to my mother. I'm her kid. She'll think it's wonderful. Um, Deborah Emmer Scott says, creativity connects me with the best part of myself. It is part of my daily life. And isn't it so important? Actually, that brings me to our very first group question. How do you feel that creativity helps you to cope with your chronic condition? I'd like to hear from you guys what you have to say. For me, I already mentioned that it takes my mind off of things, makes me much, much more mindful, takes me out of my own head. Often when the pain is really bad, I sit there and I'm, rebooting or whatever, but I'm in my head a lot. And this is said in one of my programs, but your head is no place. Your head is a dangerous place to be in by yourself sometimes, dangerous neighborhood. And that's true. So if I can get myself out of my head, that's wonderful. So how do you feel that creativity helps you to cope with your chronic condition? Let's get back. I think we have more comments. Glendale says, amen. I'm assuming that was from the quote. Facebook user says yes. I'm sorry, I'm behind, so now I'm not. I need to keep up with these. Facebook user says, with regards to volunteerism. Oh gosh, I missed a whole bunch. I'm sorry, you guys. Robin sent me pictures. Fantastic. Oh my goodness, I missed so much. See, I get behind in our very active group. Oh my, I really missed a lot. Okay. Julia Julie Schmerloff says, my mom is an artist and I am not artistic at all. My sis takes all her talents. I wish I was more artistic. It would help cause them. It would help cause then. You can do stuff from home while having chronic pain. Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't have to invest in anything, maybe you've got some crayons from when your kids were little. Try adult coloring if you haven't. It seems weird, but there's something very mindful and soothing about it, which I guess is why it works well for anxiety. Facebook user says, I'm doing a lot of gardening. Is that you, Eva? Gardening is a really great one I hadn't thought of. Way to be creative. That's fantastic. Glendale says, I am a painter and I use acrylic paints on canvas. I'm self-taught and my art has a spiritual aspect to it. It's a gift and I'm very grateful. That is awesome, my friend. I do not share that gift, but I do enjoy it. I use watercolors because they're much more forgiving. I bow down to anybody that does acrylics. I think that's amazing. Years ago, we started the journaling club because Jackie, who was my co-admin at the time, she's still in our group, but she's taken on other roles. We started it because we call it the journaling club, and certainly everything we do every day I put in my journal, but you can also participate just by putting something in the comments. And we've got some people like Julia Schmerlov. I would never know that you aren't artistic, ever. You contribute a lot to that journaling club. And I think I see our other, did I see her? Ariana's here too. All right, we'll get to her. All right, Julia. I began doing adult coloring, especially color by number with a mystery picture. She's posted those in the journaling club. If you're not a member of it, it's just one of our side groups, and participation in the daily challenge is completely optional. Some months maybe you're just not into it, but it is fun. And Julia has been putting some of her paint by numbers in there, and she'll show us the work like before, when nothing's colored in and just the numbers and stuff. And she'll say, well, gee, what do we all think this is going to be? And then like it was a letter F or something, which was really kind of cool. I'd never seen that before. So thank you. Oh, I think Jen Leos is doing that too, actually, now that I say that. Thank you. Picture. Mystery picture. Yes, got it. Okay, Deborah. I am so excited for the June Journaling Club. We will be doing 30 days of self-love. I will post a prompt daily and we can share our thoughts. Hope to see you all there. Thank you. Thanks, Deborah. I'm super excited for it. She sent me what she's going to do, and it's wonderful. They're not really affirmations. They're exactly what she says they are. They're 30 days of different prompts to help us love ourselves more, and we certainly can use that. Arlene says, I love to try everything that is easy. It has to be fast and fun to keep me interested. It's the Aries in me. I have little patience. I'm a Leo. They don't have patience either. But I'm laughing looking at I love to try everything that is easy. I have to get something, you guys. I have to, because it goes along with that. Hang on. All right, I was not intending to show these, but this post was just screaming for me to share them. The first one I'll share, it's not, well, it is silly, but that's okay. This, oops, how can I never get the camera? This is an ink mixing kit, which I had never seen before. It's kind of new, and it gives you the primary colors, and you can mix your own ink. Amy and I did it once. We came up with a really cool purple, and it had a great sheen to it, so we named it Charlie Sheen. But again, the whole thing that's funny is Amy could barely use her hands when she was alive, and I get tremors. So what we were doing mixing ink, I don't really know. This one is hilarious. I've seen so many things on Pinterest that made this look super cool. I think I've made some posts using this artwork of other people's work. And so I thought, Amy and I like to be creative when we had sleepovers and stuff. Let's give this a shot. All right, you can't really tell from this. This is a paper quilling kit. I know my husband's upstairs watching like, what the heck is that? They're different color strips of paper. And what you do is, like, here I did one. That's the extent of what I did. You roll up paper, and you can make these beautiful masterpieces that look absolutely gorgeous. I wonder if there's a finished. All right, here's a couple finished ones. I mean, aren't they just so pretty? Yes, they are. However, people with tremors and who can't use their hands, how are they going to do this? You can't. There's these tiny sheets of paper. So I laughed at myself for this one. Oh, look, it comes with scissors. I didn't know that. This whole kit. Will I ever do it? Look, I'll try. Actually, I did try. It wasn't a great success. But I love paper quilling if you guys have ever seen any of that stuff. It's very cool. So, Arlene, yes, doable, easy. Lauren still needs to get that, like, in her head. But it's absolutely true. Thank you for that. Okay. Let's go on. Deborah Immer Scott says, I am a painter, acrylic, oil, and watercolor, and I make kindness rocks. I saw you posted those in the group, I think, Deborah, right? And cooking. I forgot about cooking. Oh, my gosh. That's an important one for me, too. Cooking is, I love to cook. It's interesting right now, all four of us, me, Rob, and the two kids are living here right now. We all have different eating habits. Riley's a strict vegan. Rob and I are part-time vegan. Jake is like, give me all the meat you got. Like the national days yesterday was hamburger, beef burger, and beef brisket day. So I opted to not put giant slabs of beet in our intention post, but so everybody kind of is on their own for meals. Like I made a lasagna for Jake, but how's one guy going to eat an entire lasagna? Well, yeah, he could, but he was at his girlfriend's a lot. But yes, Deborah, your kindness rocks were beautiful. And Amy and her granddaughter Anna used to do that when they lived in Cape Cod. Pamela Creighton, I did a very simple beading class recently and enjoy recreating my simple elasticated gemstone bracelets. It is also a pleasure to give and receive something someone created with you in mind, isn't it? So is. Okay, we finally got to Ariana. Ariana has like, I don't know what you want to call it. Like she's had this rebirth and has become, well, I think you just joined the journaling club, right, Ariana? But you've been a member of the main group for a long time. And I mentioned this, I think it was last week, right? Gosh, it's been a week already, that she is doing a daily journaling challenge every day for the entire year. And she's sharing all of that with us. And she's using a little doodling and writing and taking quotes that she hears that she likes and putting it on the page. And it's really, as much as you are healed by doing it, I get healed looking at it and inspired. Isn't that, creativity? If you can inspire somebody, not necessarily to copy your work, but to try, I think it's great. Glad you're here, Ariana. Jen Leos, couple hearts. Love you, babe. Robin, send me a couple pics. I'm going to go to Facebook Messenger in just a minute to see if we've got any pictures. Robin has sent some stuff. I can't wait to see if anybody else has anything they want to send. I guess that means that they wouldn't let you post a picture in the group here, huh? That's too bad. Facebook user says it. Okay, Facebook user, you got to tell me who you are. I'm sure your it is full of love, and I'm sure it applies to something that we read or said earlier. But I don't know, so I'm sorry. But if you can tell us who it is and what it's in response to, I'd be happy to clear it up for everybody. Robin Davis, I really liked that pen pal gig. Yeah, Amy loved having you as a pen pal. She really loved talking to you. Ariana says, I love this. Count me in. Is that for our new journaling challenge? Self-care? I hope so. Deborah's really, like I keep saying, she's really brought new life to that group. Deborah says, I loved the Pen Pal Challenge. Met Diana McGillivray Brusso there. Nice. Very nice. With regards to volunteerism. Okay. Thank you. Arlene, it would be fun to start a Happy Mail opportunity. Maybe someone could use Happy Mail so they could get that connection. I would be in for that. Oh my, I love that idea. Kind of like the Pen Pal Challenge. Oh, I love that idea. Deborah, let's talk. It doesn't even have to be a journaling club challenge. We could do it maybe on the side, a separate little club or whatever. I think that's a great idea. Because like I keep saying, Arlene, you really made me feel good. You made me feel special. And, is there anything better than that? Feeling special from somebody else? It's great. Ooh, Mary's here. Okay. Sarah Garrison, money is very limited, so I truly appreciate the journaling, drawing, doodling, Zen challenges you offer. Good. Yeah, this stuff doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Sometimes it doesn't, cost any money. Digging out old things or, writing doesn't cost you anything. And if you think you're not a good writer, you'd be wrong about that too. Because if you're sharing your story or sharing your thoughts and ideas and put that down on paper and never show it to anybody else, you got that down, and that's why journaling is so powerful. I've been writing. I haven't been journaling much the last 2 weeks, but I thought with the COVID virus, I should probably keep a journal because somebody someday will want to read about what happened. I put down how many cases in New Jersey, and the United States just hit 100,000, which is just awful. But yeah, I thought it would be historic someday for people to read about that. My ancestors, my great grandchildren, or something. So I'm really glad you like the challenges, Sarah. Mary's here. Yay, Mary. I'm so glad you're here. We go back, Mary and I. She's a wonderful person, just like the rest of you beautiful humans. Becky Martin, that would be fun. Happy mail. Yeah, I'm in. Deborah says, Arlene, excellent idea. All right, the three of us, we're going to get together and throw around some ideas. How does that sound? Doesn't have to be any, great amount of work. All right, let me try to go to Messenger and see what we got here. Robin, thank you for sending those pictures. Oh, Margaret, yay, Margaret sent pictures too. Okay, let me see, how can I get this up there? Oh, so nice. All right, I'm going to try to put Facebook. My Quilling Kit is like all over my desk. That's how involved this Quilling Kit is. I must have been nuts. I know I'm nuts, but that must have been nuts. Yeah, my computer's been really bogged down and going slowly lately. So getting into Zoom has been a problem. Okay, there. If anybody else has anything they'd like to share, we would love to see it. It's inspiring. Inspires us. I tell you, you don't have to be artistic. Oh, I had a story I wanted to tell you guys as we near the hour. And oh yeah, it is the hour. There goes 1 hour. Here comes the ish after that. 1 hour ish. When I first got out of chronic pain rehab and alcohol rehab, Silver Hill Hospital, where I met Dr. Singer. What was I going to say? Oh, there was Chronic Pain Anonymous meetings there. And then I got home to New Jersey, there were none. And maybe about a year after I got out of Silver Hill, Dr. Singer had asked me to go back and speak to the current patients, because there's one patient that shared a lot of my same story. So he thought maybe I could help her. And so he put me on the spot, and I know he knew he did this. He said, how are your Chronic Pain Anonymous meetings going? And I said, well, they're not, because there's none in New Jersey. And he looked at me and said, well, start one then. So not wanting to ever let down Dr. Singer, I started one. I started the first face-to-face meeting in New Jersey. Now most of them are on Zoom, which is a much better platform for it. But the reason why I bring that up with creativity is they have a Facebook page, and the founder of CPA was doing the posts, and she was looking for somebody to take over for her because she had way too many things on her plate. So she noticed that I was always the first person to like the posts on Facebook. And so she messaged me privately and said, I've noticed that you're the first to like, these posts. Are you artistic? She asked me. First of all, I can't say no, but second of all, I'm not artistic. So I told her exactly that. I said, look, I really want to volunteer and help out this organization, and, was happy to start a meeting, but I can't promise you artistic at all. So she said, oh, you know what, just give it a try. And so I did. I gave it a try. And I taught myself how to make graphics. It went very slowly. At first, I was using a free program called Canva, which is a great program. And I was telling Deborah the other day that it would take me all day to make a post, because I was self-taught. Now I use Adobe Spark Post mostly in Photoshop, also, again, self-taught. And boy, Arlene is always talking about how much she loves the graphics I make. And that is fun and very creative. And, I love pairing the photos and the fonts and all that stuff. So that is how I picked up that hobby post illness. Okay. My messenger's up. Let's see if we can share some photos. Actually, let me go to Margaret first. Margaret sent her, oh gosh, these are awesome. Okay. Let me see if I can share the screen. Would that be too much to ask? Okay, I hit share screen. Oh no, I didn't. Share screen. Where'd it go? Chrome tab. Hopefully this one. Let's see. We'll see. Oh, there it is. Can you guys see this? This is from Margaret, from her driftwood and shells. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh gosh, let me see if I can zoom in and get a closer look at this. Look at this manger scene. Oh my gosh, Margaret. I tell you, you made my night when you were talking about this, because I really thought it was a member that wasn't with us anymore. And I was always just so fascinated by this hobby of yours. Thank you for sharing that with us. Aren't you guys impressed? I sure am. Okay, and then we've got a couple pictures from Robin. If I can get to it, which could be debatable. Oh no, now you're seeing the screen of me trying to figure everything out. I'll get there. I always get there eventually. Open Messenger. How do I get back to Robin's? I can't just see. Oh, there's Robin. Okay. A couple of her paintings she has. So let's try to share this screen now. Share screen. Chrome tab. Messenger. Boom. Let's see if it works. Hey, there we go. Can you guys see that? Beautiful. Look at that lighthouse. I feel like it goes with Margaret's driftwood and shells. It's gorgeous. Wow. You're very good. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at this one. It's so realistic. Your use of color is phenomenal. Did I miss one or two pictures? Thank you so much, Robin and Margaret. That was awesome. And I'd be happy to try to share anybody else's. Since we're sharing on the screen right now, I have a video I want to show you guys. It's just there we are. It's just a couple minutes long, but it was something that somebody put in our group a couple of years ago. And when I was making notes for tonight, oh, you know what it was? It was the quote from the reading I did where she talked about famous people and having to make do with their limitations and all that. And I remembered this video that somebody posted about, well, I'll share it and see what you guys think. Whoever posted it may even remember. I think it was posted in like 2017, 2018. Okay, let's share the screen again. Here we go. Share. It's not working. Let's try to refresh. We're sharing blank screen. I had this all queued up too. Here we go. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to remember to take out my earbuds so we can hear. Here we go. Frida Kahlo. Oh, we had Frida Kahlo. All right. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. What happened to it? It's a short video call, so that's why it was shared in the group, but it was incredibly inspiring. Maybe some of you knew her story. All right, here we go again. Let's try. Let's try to get this full screen. Come on. It's almost laughable how uncomputer savvy I am when I'm on the computer all day, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Let's start over again. Wasn't that amazing? I think I watched it 3 times again today, and I mean, seeing that picture of her where she's in her bed and the painting above her head and doing that, like that moved me so much. Talk about adapting and modifying things, right? Um, she could have been like that toddler. So, well, she didn't. I guess she didn't paint at all until this happened. So she just took it up on her own. Very similar to me and the graphic design. I think I might be a little better than her with my graphic design. But anyway, that's inspiring. And I know there's several artists that had handicaps of some capacity. I remember there was a movie, I think it's back in the 80s, with Daniel Day-Lewis called My Left Foot. And I don't remember who it was about, but it's somebody who painted with their foot, I think, right? Yeah. Anyway, so people are just inspiring. And there was a couple, did I write down the quote? I think I have it in my iPad. That's okay. There's a great quote that she had right in the beginning there, about choosing to suffer or not to suffer. Oh gosh, I wish I could remember it. That's okay. I'll post it in the group afterwards. And then the very last quote said something about we can endure so much than we think we can. And we all know that's true because right when we start thinking I can't take anymore, more can come at us and we handle it. And we kind of wished for yesterday back that wasn't as bad, but we do it. It's tiring, it's exhausting, but we do it because that's what we do. We have, like I said earlier, we have, a choice to make. We have a lot of choices to make when we get sick or injured, or, our brain's just not working the way it used to. We can just stop living life, which, I like to say, I don't like to say, but, for years and years, I've been sick for 20 years. For years, I feel like I lost years because I was so busy spinning my wheels, trying to take control of things that were out of my control and, trying to get things back to normal, cure myself, whatever you want to call it. And I completely missed out on life. Some of it was not controllable, but some of it was. And the world does not put itself on pause while you try to figure things out and get yourself back to normal. The Earth rotates on its axis and continues to go on while you're missing it. So why not accept what we've got and get back to living life? It's going to be a different life, some good ways, some bad, of course, but I'd rather live life. And I think that's what everybody who joins AOG is kind of wanting to say, too. That's what they're saying when they join the group. Okay, let's get back to comments. Hopefully I can't talk. That's a problem when you're doing a broadcast. Can't wait to see what everybody has to say. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. Okay, we've got a couple comments. Let's see where we're at. Deborah says, I've been journaling since 1972. I love it. Great. That's awesome. I hope you kept all of those. And I bet it's interesting looking back. I keep my planner. I get this crazy Japanese planner every year because I love it. And it's got the special paper where the inks of fountain pens actually look nice and bright. I'm crazy, but I love it. I love it. And working in the planner is very creative to me. But I do go back into past years. I got Amy into it too. I go back. Sometimes I need it for like, gosh, when did I see that doctor and what did they say? I'll go back and look. But sometimes it's just fun to know what I was doing a year ago today, or whatever. So it's nice to look back on that stuff. Sarah Garrison, I'd love to see some of her work. Me too. I assume you're talking about Frida. Me too. Yeah, me too. I'll look for some. Maybe you guys can too. And after the broadcast is over, we can post some of it in the comments. I'd be curious to see it too. That one that she showed in the beginning looked really kind of dark. I don't know if she stayed with the whole dark thing or if she was going through stages or not. But she is an inspiration for sure. What are the spellings for these graphic tools? The spellings for these graphic tools. Do you mean to make graphics? If so, Canva is the one that I taught myself on, Canva. And then Adobe has something called Smart or Spark Post. Adobe is Adobe and Spark Post. And I was telling Deborah this. I think it might be free for a couple months. Otherwise, you do have to pay for it. But Canva is a good one to start with if you can't get that. Sarah says gorgeous. Absolutely. Diana says so talented and inspiring, beautiful. Becky Martin says beautiful. And Becky says, I have to go. Thank you for everything, you guys. Bye, Becky. Nice seeing you. Diana says, wow. Robin loved it too. Julia D. Julie says, wow. Am I going back and reading the same ones over and over? I think I am. I'm being creative. Robin says that film was amazing. I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm so glad I remembered it. I mean, I can't remember what I ate today, but somehow I remembered this video that was put in the group a couple of years ago. I love to be inspired. It's one of the reasons why I started AOGs. I really just wanted to go to a place where I love motivational quotes. I'm a sucker for motivational quotes. I mean, I love Brene Brown. She just has some great quotes, and I make my own too for Instagram and for our group and stuff. And I love to inspire people, and I love to be inspired, because any little thing I can use to make my life, give me a little extra bounce in my step, make my smile a little bigger, or exist when it wasn't existing. I like that. Deborah says, loved the video, inspiring. Julia says, My Left Foot is an awesome movie. I don't think I've seen it. I must have seen clips because I can picture him using his foot for painting, right? I think it maybe won an Academy Award or two also. Arlene says, send you some pics of what I've been working on this spring in Messenger. Uh-oh. All right, let's try it. Ooh. This might be easier than I thought. Okay, we got it up already. Let's try to share the screen now. Share screen. Tab. Messenger. Beautiful painted rocks, Arlene. Oh, look, there's a happy mail down there. Oh, a couple happy mails. Wow. Oh, all that detail. That looks like fun. Look how awesome those rocks are. I see there's more detail than I thought. I see the sunburst one, but just you can get some paint or whatever, markers, and just play around with color and do dots like you did. That's incredible. Aw, got some kindness rocks, very pretty. Oh, you did some window painting. Easter eggs, how cute. Wow, you do a lot of creative stuff. Okay, oh, that's, I saw you wrote a comment, something about mushrooms, and now how did I skip it over? These are mushrooms that you made using vases and bowls. Very, very cool. Did you come up with that on your own? That's amazing. Oh, and look how cute you are with your face mask. Who's excited about our face masks? Let me make sure I got, oh, I didn't get all of them. Oh, yeah, you showed me this one, the wreath with succulents. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking at, you've got, what is that, twigs? Thicker little twigs and fake succulents, which look exactly like the real thing. That's so pretty. Oop, look how cute you are. Look at that smile when you were in the hospital. I know things didn't go as planned in the hospital, but we're really glad to have you back tonight. How cute are you? Look at that smile. That's a genuine smile. You may have been scared to death, but you wouldn't know it. Oop, that's mine. I didn't mean to show that. That's weird. What is that doing here? Oh, you know what? I think this. Oh, I'm glad it is in here. That was an accident. I think it's picking up all the photos that you and I have ever shared together on Facebook Messenger. These butterflies, it just so happens that came in my happy mail that Arlene sent me. That wasn't planned. Good plan though. So I used them in my planner to decorate it. Fantastic. It's a fantastic idea all the way around. Anybody else? We're going to have to wrap it up soon because we're going really, really long. But I'd love to share anybody else's work if you have it. Gail, oh, you're going to make me cry. You are just so inspirational tonight. Thank you, love. Wow, thank you. It means a lot. Sarah says, so glad you are sharing this. I need to hear this right now. That is my ultimate goal, is to once a week, even if it's just for one person, to something to happen from GLCL that somebody needed to hear tonight. So I'm really glad that you needed to hear this. It's great. Julia says, I will have to find the blind artist and share her video. I do not recall her name, but her art was amazing. I will look for it after this and I will share if I can find it. Fantastic. Again, if you're not a member of the journaling club, some really awesome things happen in there. So it's that attitude of gratitude with chronic pain journaling club. We have a link at the top of our page, but if you have to search for it, that's where you find it. And we only have like 300 members and change, something like that. It's a great group. We started doing Amy started doing affirmations in there, and then people loved them so much. As you know, we started our own affirmation group in her name. It's called Amy's AOG Affirmations that Linda Edwards has kindly agreed to post. We do affirmations every day. I know Amy would be absolutely thrilled. Okay, Sarah. Ooh, nice rocks. Diana says, cool. Oh, Deborah, good. I'm glad you came back to this. Deborah says, I'm so excited for the masks. Me too. I'm so glad you're excited. I'm excited. The white ones have been out for a while. I know me, and I'm a little bit of a slob, and white just wouldn't work, even though they're washable. So when they came out with the black, I'm like, well, I could put our logo on it. And, the price I thought was good. I actually, Deborah, you told me what you spent for some other ones through another club that you were in. And I think these are reasonable. And there's something that we've been wanting to do for a long time in AOG is offer merch, tote bags. I think the tote bags are coming in tomorrow for those of you that won the contest finally in January. I ended up ordering them. But the thing is, we never want to sell anything because it feels icky. We don't want to be collecting money if we don't have to. It's just not what we do. And I never want anybody to think that we're profiting off of anything that we do, because that's just not our style. So this company, what's it called now? Custom Ink. As long as you provide them with how many do you need us to make, and I tell them, they collect the money, they ship it right to you. It's phenomenal. And I really like how it came out too. So if you haven't seen that in the group, I think it's up at announcements today. I designed some black face masks with the AOG logo on it for us to wear. They're washable, 3-ply, like 100% cotton. I'm super excited about it. I'm getting a whole bunch. Robin, thank you for a lovely evening. Thank you for being here. Thanks to all of you. Arlene, good night and thank you. Thanks to all of you, Grateful Gang. I'm going to stop the comments right there just so we can stop. We never run out of things to talk about. I think there were 3 questions. We've talked about 1, but that's okay because we had a lot to say. So thanks to all of you. I love you all. Peace and love. Good night, my Grateful Gang. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Bye now.